My dear ones, hello! I am glad to see you again on my channel. Today, we will have a special moment. I have prepared a tarot card for you, and the theme is Gemini. Unexpected events await you in September. I know that this zodiac sign is very special, free, curious, sometimes contradictory, but always real. And it is for you, for the twins, that I decided to do this fortune telling. Together, we will see what news, what changes, and what surprises await you very soon. You know, I think it's you, Gemini, who make working through tarot cards a special pleasure, because you always know how to notice things that other people might miss. You're open to the unexpected, and I already feel that bright, unusual, and perhaps even fateful clues await us in this scenario. Well, let's get down to business. So in the first week of September, Gemini signs, get ready for such a quiet but important start. You know, I think this week will be like a pause before taking a big breath. It's like you're stopping to review what you've already done. I want to admit that I'm a little worried about your impatience, and I worry with you, but at the same time, I feel that a chance is emerging here. Well, don't be intimidated by this silence. It's often where the first clues appear. On Monday and Tuesday, you may suddenly feel that some things need to be worked out. How to explain? Not an urgent disaster, but an invitation to stop and look at the details. I want to admit that I sometimes get lost myself when I see how fast you are in a hurry. I'm afraid that some of the effort may go unnoticed. I feel that many of you will have a desire to confess to someone, not necessarily in love, maybe to admit to yourself, I'm tired. I need to change course. It will be touching and scary at the same time. By the middle of the week, there will be a specific reason, a letter, a message, or a conversation that will force you to make an assessment. You know, I think it will be something small but significant, a sum of money, a job offer, or a word from a person from whom you have been waiting for an answer for a long time. I want to confess, I have a quiet hope inside that this will bring relief, but there is also a fear that you may feel that you have not done enough. Longing and hope at the same time will live in you, next to you, and it will be strangely beautiful. In a couple's preferences, in their personal lives, some twins will want to stop and think about whether it is worth further investing in one or another union. I feel that many people will rush around. I want to, but I'm afraid, or maybe it's all for nothing. I want to admit that sometimes I myself want to tell everyone directly, take a break, because panic rarely helps. The hope will be quiet, but real. You will understand which seeds have already taken root. Get down to business. You will notice the first fruits of your labor, or conversely, you will realize that you will have to work on something else. Well, this is the time to evaluate what brings joy and what pulls you down. I want to confess, I worry for those of you who want quick results. I'm afraid you may be disappointed, but at the same time, this disappointment will lead to important conclusions. There will still be hope for change, but now it will be more mature, not so crazy. If we talk about finances or practical projects, do not expect major leaps in the first days of September, but be attentive to the little things, the invoice, the contract, the deadline, the note in the letter. You know, I think it's the little things that will give you the key to the next step. I want to confess, I am drawn to warn you against making drastic decisions. The fear of regretting later is real, and the longing for missed opportunities is also. It is better to exhale, reread, and then act. Inside, many Gemini people will have a desire for change, but you will weigh up. Is it worth it now? How would you explain? This is not a flash, but mature thoughtfulness. I want to admit that at this moment I feel sincere sympathy. I know how hard it is to wait and see that time is passing. But there is also power in this. You will come out of this pause with a plan, not with panic. Emotionally, you will be prone to nostalgia. Someone will remember last summer. Someone will remember old conversations. I feel that you will have a longing for what has already happened and hope that you can bring back the best. I want to confess, I myself want to embrace you with words because you are so open and vulnerable these days. The fear of losing something important will be next to the desire to admit to someone that you still cherish. The meetings and conversations of the first week can be calm but full of meaning. One short, "How are you?" will turn into a serious conversation about the future. Well, don't be surprised if someone suddenly asks you about your plans for the year ahead. This is a sign that the people around you also stop rushing and start thinking. I want to confess, I like this thoughtful side of you, but I'm afraid you'll be too self-critical. I hope you'll be kinder to yourself. My advice for this week, speaking as a friend, not as a strict master, is to give yourself time to see what is growing and what needs to be adjusted. You know, I think it's you, Gemini, who can turn this pause into a springboard. I want to confess, I believe in you, and I'm a little jealous of your ability to see opportunity in small things. I feel that hope is your main resource here. At the end of the first week, you may feel a quiet relief. Something has become clearer, although not all the answers have come. How to explain? It's like watering a plant and seeing that the leaf has turned towards the light. I want to aid Gemini. At the end of September, you may have a situation that at first seems unpleasant. Something at home will fail. And you know, I think it will be not just a small thing, but something that is difficult to do without. A boiler, a washing machine, a stove, or even something in the heating system. First, you will hear some strange sound or notice a small leak. And at that moment, it will become clear. It's time to decide. I want to admit that I'm a little worried about such moments because they always throw me off the usual rhythm and make me think about money and how to fix everything quickly. But at the same time, the breakdown will show you a very important side. The Two of Wands and the Two of Swords hint that you will stand at a crossroads, fix the old, or decide on a new one. And here you will have doubts whether to save money or act more boldly. Well, I feel that inside you will have both the fear of making a mistake and at the same time the hope that this particular event will push you to make the right choice. Sometimes such inconveniences become a point of growth. You know, I think it's at moments like this that a real relationship manifests itself. Someone nearby will lend a shoulder, help with advice, or just give you a word of support. And maybe it's because of this breakdown that you'll tell each other what you've wanted for a long time. I'm tired. I need help. I'm grateful to you. I want to admit that I feel warm from this thought myself, because even from everyday troubles, intimacy, sincerity, and trust are born. The ending of the story will be positive for you. Everything that breaks is repaired or replaced with a new, more reliable one. But in the end, you will feel that together you have coped, which means that you have become stronger. And in this victory over everyday life, there will be a sense of stability and confidence that it will only get better. Well, Gemini, that's where I'll end today's alignment. Thank you for being with me, for listening, and living every word with me. September has prepared not only challenges for you, but also new opportunities, and I feel that you will be able to turn all this into growth. Take care of yourself and your home. And if you want to find out exactly what changes await you personally, remember, I have personal plans. By the way, there's a discount right now, so it's a good time. See you soon, friends. May September bring you only joyful events and pleasant news.